Ever wondered what climate change truly means? Well, let's get into it. Our Earth, a vibrant sphere teeming with life, can be thought of as being wrapped in a cozy blanket. This blanket, invisible to our eyes, is vital for life as we know it. It's all about balance. During the day, sunlight filters through this blanket, warming up our planet, while at night, some of that heat finds its way back into the vast expanse of space, keeping us from getting too hot. This equilibrium is what makes Earth a perfect habitat for a dazzling array of life forms. But now, let's introduce a new player to the scene: greenhouse gases. Imagine these gases as an extra layer added to our Earth's blanket. What happens when you pile on more blankets on a warm night? You start to feel uncomfortably warm, right? That's precisely what's happening to our planet. Every time we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, or when we clear forests, we're releasing more of these greenhouse gases. This is like throwing on more layers onto our blanket, trapping more heat close to the Earth's surface. The result? Our planet begins to heat up. This, in essence, is the greenhouse effect. As our planet warms, it sets off a domino effect of changes. The ice at the poles and high up on the mountains starts to melt, raising sea levels. Extreme weather events like hurricanes and heat waves become more frequent and more intense. The delicate balance of ecosystems begins to wobble as animals and plants struggle to adapt to these rapid changes. But why should this concern us? Because this isn't just about polar bears or melting ice caps. These changes are affecting us here and now. Our food, our water, our health, our very homes are at risk. The climate crisis is not a distant, abstract concept. It's a present, tangible reality. But what happens when the blanket gets thicker? Imagine adding more layers to our Earth blanket, making it warmer than usual. That's essentially what the greenhouse effect is. It's a natural process that keeps our planet at a habitable temperature. But here's the twist: human activities are amplifying this effect. Picture the sun as a giant, fiery ball of energy, constantly sending its rays towards Earth. When these rays reach our planet, some of them are absorbed and transformed into heat, making life possible. However, some of this heat doesn't stay on Earth. It bounces back towards space, keeping our planet from overheating. Now imagine this. When we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, we release additional greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases are like extra layers on our Earth blanket, trapping more heat than necessary. We're not just talking about a little extra warmth here, we're talking about a significant rise in global temperatures. But it doesn't stop at burning fossil fuels. Deforestation, or the mass clearing of trees, is another major contributor to the greenhouse effect. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, one of the main greenhouse gases. When we cut down forests, we're not just removing these natural carbon sinks, we're also releasing more carbon dioxide stored in their trunks and leaves. So we're essentially doing two things. We're pumping more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and we're getting rid of the very things that help absorb these gases. It's like we're piling on more layers to our blanket and taking away its ability to breathe. And this warming sets off a cascade of changes, disrupting the delicate balance that makes life on Earth possible. But we'll delve into these consequences in the next part of our journey, where we explore the effects of climate change. For now, let's remember, the greenhouse effect is not inherently bad. It's the over-amplification of this effect due to human activities that's causing trouble. So, what happens when our world gets warmer? Well, it sets off a domino effect of changes that are far more reaching than just a rise in temperature. For instance, the polar ice caps and glaciers start to melt. This might sound like a distant problem, but it's closer to home than you might think. As ice turns to water, our sea levels rise, putting coastal communities at risk. Beaches erode, homes flood, and entire islands can even disappear beneath the waves. But the effects of a warming world aren't just felt at the poles. They're seen in the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. Storms become stronger, floods more destructive, and heat waves more severe. These aren't just inconveniences, they're life-threatening events that displace people and disrupt communities. And let's not forget about our fellow Earth inhabitants, plants and animals. They're feeling the heat too. Changes in temperature and weather patterns can disrupt the delicate balance of ecosystems. Animals may struggle to find food or lose their homes. Plants might not bloom at the right time, disrupting the food chain. Some species may even face the threat of extinction if they can't adapt quickly enough. And it's not just about the animals and plants we can see. Microscopic organisms in our oceans, known as phytoplankton, are also at risk. These tiny creatures are a crucial part of the food chain and play a vital role in capturing carbon dioxide from our atmosphere. But as the oceans warm, their survival is threatened, potentially accelerating climate change even further. So, you see, this isn't just about polar bears and ice caps. It's about a complex, interconnected web of life that's being unraveled by the effects of climate change. From the depths of the oceans to the heights of the mountains, no corner of our planet is untouched. But this isn't just about polar bears and ice caps. Climate change is knocking on our doors. It's not just about polar bears and melting ice caps, it's about us, our lives, and the world we're leaving for future generations. Imagine the intricate network of systems that make life possible on Earth, from the air we breathe to the food we eat. Climate change is like a wrench thrown into the gears, disrupting these delicate systems. Consider our food and water supplies. As temperatures rise, heat waves become more common, scorching crops and causing droughts that dry up rivers and lakes. This doesn't just mean a bad year for farmers, it means less food and water for everyone. Or think about where we live. Many of our cities are built near coasts or rivers, places that are vulnerable to rising sea levels and more intense storms. As these areas become more hazardous, people may be forced to leave their homes, leading to mass migrations that could destabilize entire regions. And let's not forget about our health. Warmer temperatures can help disease-carrying insects like mosquitoes thrive and spread diseases like malaria and dengue fever. As these conditions become more common in places where they were previously rare, our health systems will be strained trying to respond. But here's the thing. Climate change isn't a problem for a distant future. Its impacts are being felt right now, and they're only going to get worse if we don't take action. Yet it's not all doom and gloom. Remember, we're the ones who hold the power to change the course of climate change. By using cleaner energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and protecting our forests, we can reduce the amount of greenhouse gases we release into the atmosphere. Every small action counts. It's like taking off some of those extra layers from the blanket that's making our planet too warm. It may not seem like much, but together these small actions can add up to a big difference. So remember, while we might be part of the problem, we're also part of the solution. But there's hope yet. We can take those extra layers off our blanket. Now that we understand the issue, let's explore the solutions to climate change. The first step towards solving any problem is recognizing its root cause. In this case, that's the excess greenhouse gases we're adding to our atmosphere. So our solution begins with reducing these emissions. But how do we go about it? One major way is through embracing cleaner energy sources. Solar and wind power, for instance, are both renewable and emit no greenhouse gases. They're like a gentle breeze or a warm ray of sunshine, replacing the disruptive tune of fossil fuels with a harmonious melody that complements our Earth's natural rhythm. But it's not just about swapping coal for solar panels. We also need to make our energy usage more efficient. This means doing more with less. It's like tuning our instruments to play louder and clearer, so we don't have to strain and use more energy to hear the music. From energy-saving light bulbs to fuel-efficient cars, there are countless ways we can all contribute to this symphony of sustainability. And let's not forget about our natural habitats. Forests, wetlands, and other ecosystems are like the Earth's lungs, absorbing carbon dioxide and breathing out oxygen. By protecting these areas, we not only preserve the homes of countless species, but also help to regulate our planet's climate. Yet, solutions to climate change aren't only about grand gestures, they're also about the small, everyday choices each of us make. Choosing to recycle, to bike instead of drive, to eat less meat, or to plant a tree in your backyard. These actions might seem insignificant, but collectively, they make a huge difference. In the end, it's all about balance. By reducing greenhouse gas emissions, we can gradually peel back those extra layers from our blanket, restoring the Earth's natural equilibrium. It won't happen overnight, but with every step we take, we move closer to a more sustainable future. Every little bit helps in keeping our planet comfortable and safe for everyone.